seat. So that's where emotional intelligence comes in. Are we in the driver's seat, or are our emotions in the driver's seat? So that will, if we remember that analogy, next time we're losing our emotion control, then that can help us to get back on track, yeah, and control those emotions that are overriding our senses and overriding our thinking ability. Yeah? All right. So now let's do a quick definition on emotional intelligence. So how can we define emotional intelligence? It's about some trigger or stimuli happens, and then we, before reacting, what do? We think. Yeah, we think before reacting, or we choose. So we think and choose our proper response before reacting. So that can be the essence of emotional intelligence, right? So the ability to think and before you act or speak. So when some trigger happens, some stimulus happens, and then before reacting immediately to it, and then we choose our response. We stop, we pause, we think, and then we choose the response. And then we'll be looking at a little bit more details into that on how what are the different components of emotional intelligence, but that in essence is the main component of it. Yeah. Mayer and Salovey, they were one of the earliest researchers who termed this emotional intelligence. So they mentioned it is the ability to monitor one's own and others' feelings and emotions, to discriminate, so differentiate between them, and to use this information to guide one's thinking and actions. So this can be looked at as a good definition of emotional intelligence. So one is monitor, and the other one is manage your feelings, and then mobilizing your emotions, right? Not just yours, but others also, to motivate others as well. So that's all the essence of good leadership. So now let's look at the components of emotional intelligence. What are the different components of EI? Yeah. So first is the intrapersonal and interpersonal and intrapersonal skills. You know, in which famous movie was there an iceberg? Right? Titanic, right? So the ship was coming and it didn't see the iceberg, right? And it crashed right into it. But just a small kind of ice thing, why did such a big ship sink? Yeah. So the majority of, I know my drawing is bad and there's not an actual representation, but what percentage of the iceberg do you see on top, approximately? Maybe 30%, right? So how much below? 70. So the majority is above or below? Below the surface, right? So that's just like you. Yeah. What other people see of you is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a top, right? So all your the way you project yourself, the way you interact with others, so social skills, empathy, you know, all that, networking, all of those are what people see from you. But the majority of it is what's underneath the surface, right? The intrapersonal. So that would have things like your self-awareness. How aware are you of yourself, your self-regulation, and your self-motivation, what motivates you, and so forth. Yeah. So these are your, do we have any IT people here? Anybody from the IT department? Okay, a couple of you. All right, mashallah. So maybe you can tell me what's the difference between internet and intranet. Okay, intranet is inside your TDA, for example, your organization, and internet is the whole world, external, right? Excellent. So similarly, intrapersonal skills is what, inside or outside? Inside. Intrapersonal is intrapersonal is inside, and interpersonal is outside. Antara in Malay, right? Like antara bangsa is outside, so it's outside skill. So similarly, so that's what it is. So these are your intrapersonal skills: self-awareness, self-regulation, and self-motivation. Social skills: empathy, networking skills, social awareness, political awareness. All of these are your external skills. Yeah. So in order to be fully emotionally intelligent, all of these things have to be there, and they have to be working in synergy. So 1 plus 1 equals 3, yeah, not 2, as they teach you in math. So when you work together as in teams as well, when you work together, you can accomplish a lot more than what you can do individually, right? So that's what you create synergy, you create momentum by having all of these factors together. So that are the basic components of EI, and we can do many things to improve self-awareness, and we'll continue on that. So I think we can take a shorter break now, maybe a 5-minute break, and then we can reconvene at, let's say at 3:50, let's reconvene, and then we'll take a longer break at around 4:30, inshallah. All right, thank you. All right. Thanks for your participation.